Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, Victoria police arrest 2 people on drug charges.
And DPS captures a man on a 10 wanted list.
And a Beeville woman is arrested after her grandchild dies in a hot car.
We, of course, had another afternoon of thunder and a little bit of rain. The rain was not impressive, only about 1/3, maybe a 1/2 inch. The heaviest activity at this hour is just past Cuero and headed toward the Seguin area. We'll be talking about this because it's going to be with us all the way into the weekend. All that coming up in a moment.
And the Goliad Tigers are ready to start up the season on a high note this Friday night. That's coming up in sports.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Brubaker.
And I'm Shawna Currie.
Victoria police arrested 2 people Tuesday. Authorities say they are connected. 41-year-old Tarek Durham and 39-year-old Ebony Levi, both from Victoria, are charged with manufacture and delivery of a controlled substance and engaging in organized criminal activity. They are in the Victoria County Jail in lieu of a combined $180,000 bond.
A Victoria East High School student has been arrested and charged with falsely claiming to have a weapon on campus. Victoria County Sheriff's Office school resource deputies were alerted this morning that a student had made a statement that she had a weapon at East High School. The student was located and admitted to deputies that she made the claim. Through their investigation, however, deputies found that she did not have a weapon and had made a false claim. The student was arrested on a misdemeanor charge of false alarm or report and taken to the Juvenile Detention Center. DPS captured a fugitive from Texas's 10 most wanted criminal migrants list. The arrest of 20-year-old Jose Zelaya Ponce from Honduras came just days after he was added to that list. He was wanted out of Harris County since July for aggravated sexual assault of a child under 14. Zelaya Ponce was arrested by the DPS Criminal Investigations Division assigned to the Texas Anti-Gang Center in Houston.
A Beeville grandmother was formally charged with criminally negligent homicide in the death of a 9-month-old baby girl.
Last week, her granddaughter was found dead in the back of her car after being left for 5 hours in the heat.
Ruth, we know that this was a family tragedy. What would you have to say to people?
69-year-old Ruth Rodriguez was released Tuesday morning after immediately posting bonds set at $50,000.
It's taken a toll on my officers, and we'll get through this. She'll have justice.
That was Beeville Police Chief Kevin Baer speaking. As we previously reported on August 21st, investigators say Rodriguez left her grandchild, Gabriela Ruth Arroyos, inside a vehicle for nearly 5 hours. Chris 6 News obtained an affidavit for an arrest warrant that says when police arrived at the home, a medic was carrying little Gabriela's lifeless body.
She failed to check her back seat. She forgot that the child was there, and again didn't discover the child until 4 o'clock that afternoon.
According to the affidavit, Ruth Rodriguez was distraught, crying, and having trouble breathing. She eventually told police that she was about to leave to pick up her grandson from high school when the baby's father called asking why she hadn't been dropped off at daycare. It's at that moment that Ruth Rodriguez realized her granddaughter was still in the back seat of the vehicle.
It's my understanding her belief was that she had already dropped him off at the daycare. Which obviously didn't happen.
During the investigation, an officer used a laser thermometer to determine the temperature inside the vehicle. The thermometer read 107 degrees. The next step is for police to hand over the results of their investigation to the district attorney. The DA will then present the case to the grand jury.
That is why she's being charged and will face trial.
The grand jury will decide whether to indict the grandmother and hold her for trial. Victoria police arrested a 28-year-old woman Monday. Valerie Vargas of Victoria faces 3 charges, including aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. She is in the Victoria County Jail in lieu of $62,500 bond. In my 40 years here at KAVU, I've had some fantastic co-workers, great teammates. You can tell I'm an old sports guy. And one of them is back with us, Shawna Currie. Welcome back.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be back. Quick little story. When I first started reporting years ago, I did a Mother's Day story and became really good friends with this person that I featured on the story. Her daughter just had a daughter, so her grandchild. And I said, "How old was she when I met you?" And she said, 2. So I was like, okay, it's been neat. I've been able to, see her whole family grow up, and but that's what I've missed. I've missed telling the stories of people here in our community, and so I'm really excited to be back and to get to do that again.
We are excited to have you back, and I know the community feels the same way.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Now, introduce this young man over here, will you?
Yes. We're going to take a look at our weather outside and what's going on with Mac Perez.
That's right. I mean, all you got to do is, here's Mac. Just don't call me late for dinner. I'll be fine. Thanks, Don. With Shawna here, the whole real estate looks better now. Yeah. It was just me and Don for a while. Anyway, folks, we've got clouds and rain around the area. The thunder showers will be with us all the way through the weekend. Now, of course, it is Labor Day weekend, so we'll have to take all that into consideration. Coming back in a few minutes, we'll be talking about what is going on out there with these thunder showers. We'll have all that in just a moment.
Mac, thank you. Yoakum police arrested a 37-year-old man Monday. Aaron Diebel faces a charge of burglary of a home intending a sex crime. He is in the DeWitt County Jail in lieu of $75,000 bond.
3 people are dead and 11 others are in the hospital after a single vehicle rollover accident. This happened in Wise County on U.S. Highway 287, about 45 miles northwest of Fort Worth. DPS said the 14 people were ejected from the passenger van. No other vehicles were involved, and investigators are trying to figure out why the van went off the highway.
The Golden Crescent Habitat for Humanity was picked to get a grant. The Texas Veterans Commission will present a $300,000 grant to Habitat for Humanity September 4th in Edinburgh. The grant is for home modifications. The Texas Veterans Commission is presenting $4.3 million in grants to 12 organizations. The grants are for providing services to South Texas area veterans and their families. A North Texas assistant principal is now blind in one eye after a student attacked her in a classroom.
Kendra Rogers recalled the incident in graphic detail nearly 2 weeks after it happened.
During lunch, I heard our behavioral teacher call on the radio to administrators for assistance.
They're the details we've all been waiting to hear.
When I arrived, the teacher and students were outside the classroom.
About what happened to Collins Intermediate assistant principal Kendra Rogers in that classroom August 15th.
I entered where the student was still irate and found the room ransacked with overturned furniture
that caused the veteran educator to be airlifted to Parkland Hospital in Dallas.
I knew I had to be as calm as possible.
Surrounded by family,
he picked up a chair and acted as if he would throw it.
And with the support of Corsicana ISD staff,
he finally did throw it at me, but I caught it midair.
She told her story.
He picked up another chair to throw at me.
Her injuries on full display.
Well, he threw a wooden hanger at me, but I couldn't stop it fast enough. The hanger hit me in my right eye and knocked it out of the socket.
She was rushed to the hospital and into surgery.
They determined that I've been blinded, and they currently believe that my damage is permanent.
She says she'll need another surgery and could lose that eye. And an attack, she says, could have been prevented.
The decision to continue funding Texas public schools at 2019 levels in 2024 is a choice, and the collateral damage of Governor Abbott's choices.
She's blaming the governor and lawmakers for not passing legislation to fund public schools while they continue to debate school vouchers. Money, she says, could be used to provide resources to help students with behavior issues.
But what happened to me should never happen to another educator.
The Navarro County DA is working to file a petition in juvenile court against the 11-year-old boy responsible, where he'll likely face the equivalent of an aggravated assault charge in adult court.
Thank you for your time.
Here are some of the top headlines you can read in the Port Lavaca Wave. The Seadrift City Council voted to sign an interlocal agreement with Calhoun County for the new combined dispatch center. And a Labor Day beach bash will be held Saturday in Port O'Connor starting at 10 a.m. You can read these stories and more at the portlavacawave.com. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have a YouTube channel, Shawna. It's unbelievable. Yes. CrossroadsToday.com. Hit the like button and click the notification bell so then people on YouTube can watch Crossroads Today.
Yeah, you get alerted whenever we post something new.
Absolutely. It's great. All right, stay with us. Coming up on 25 News now at 6. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton starts a new way to fight illegal voting.
Also, school bus for too long, and their parents are now calling for action.
Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton started an illegal voting tip line Wednesday. He also issued an election integrity advisory against unlawful voting activity. Last week, Paxton announced an undercover operation to investigate allegations that non-citizens were being registered to vote in direct violation of Texas law. Paxton's office also recently executed search warrants after a 2-year investigation into an illegal ballot harvesting scheme. Here are some of the top headlines you can read in the Cuero Record. A new formula prompts DeWitt County commissioners to reconsider taxes, and DeWitt County area small museums hear about UHV's History Center. You can read these stories and more at the DeWittCountyToday.com.
And here's a look at our viewer poll this evening. You can scan the QR code on your screen to vote. We're asking, how concerned are you about the spread of West Nile virus? Lots of mosquitoes out there, they're pesky, but we want to hear from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part, and we'll have more on 25 News now at 10, but it looks like right now we're kind of leaning to the not concerned side of things. So we'll see if that changes any between now and 10 o'clock.
It's always very interesting, the changes. Sometimes it's huge.
Yes. All right. Well, some parents in the Houston area are calling for a school bus driver to be fired and charged after a recent incident.
The driver reportedly would not let the children open their windows on a 100-degree day, even though the bus had no air conditioning.
This mother.
A Sealy ISD mom today saying she's standing up for her kids and other families.
Receiving phone calls from my children saying that they can't breathe, they're unable to get home, is a problem for me.
Kashina Smith says on August 22nd, her kids were on their way home from Sealy Junior High. Smith claims her 12-year-old son, Bryce, asked to sit in the front of the bus with his sister, but says the bus driver accused him of disrupting the bus ride home.
He questioned it in a nice way. He asked the reason why. She says, no, go back to the back of the bus. Why are the windows rolled up? Why can't the windows be rolled down? I have no answer yet.
Cell phone video shared by Smith shows part of the back and forth between the driver and students. During the video, the bus driver appears to tell the students to keep their hands inside.
I wasn't even sticking any limbs out the window.
After 31 minutes, Smith said her kids arrived home. Her daughter, who she says has chronic asthma, appears out of breath. Her son sweating so bad he had taken off his shirt. Smith and activist Candace Matthews now have several demands for the district.
We're seeking charges to be filed, and Mom have already got with Sealy IZ Police Department, and so she's going to be doing the last procedure of it in order to file those charges for a child endangerment.
Sealy ISD took the driver off that route after complaints from multiple parents, but she's still driving for the district.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. 79 degrees and fairly pleasant because of the thunder showers that we had again today. I'm sure you heard all the thunder out there. The high today officially was 92. Of course, that's because before all the clouds started getting going, we only had 38/100ths of an inch of rain at the airport, and this is good because we're getting the afternoon rain. Then it sort of clears up, dries up, lets everything percolate, so we haven't had any flooding problems, and that's good. The thing is that all this activity is going to continue all the way into the weekend. We'll talk more about that after this. Well, additional shower activity occurred over the crossroads again today. There's the city right about there. You can see all the remaining rain at this hour. Most of the heavy stuff is pulled out of the Victoria City area, but it's up here not far from Gonzales and into Seguin where they're getting the heaviest activity. All of this is rolling basically to the northwest as we continue this cycle on top of us of all this moisture. And of course, with the moisture, we can have the moisture, but if the atmosphere is capped, we can't get any of this shower activity. You can see how basically it's rolling this way and the circulation's right about here. And so even San Antonio is going to be getting some stormy weather within the hour. And of course, there's stuff all the way out to the west. This is an incredible change in our future or our fortunes from last week. Remember, we had that dome on top of us. We were getting triple digits, and now all that's gone. Even places like San Angelo and Abilene that were 110 are now down into the 80s. So a big change for us. And of course, there's still a lot of moisture out in the Gulf. All of this eventually will be rotating around the area, giving us daily afternoon thunder showers for the foreseeable future. And I say that because it's at least 7 days. You can see how the temperatures have taken a bit of a dive here, and this is good. 91 is our forecast high tomorrow. In the 80s in Houston and East Texas because they're actually going to be getting more rain than we're getting, even though we're getting a a good bit of it. Now here's future rain totals as we go all the way to Saturday, and you can see how there's kind of a bullseye out here over Beaumont and Houston and Galveston. It looks like that's where the heaviest rain total will occur within the next 5 days. And of course, for us, we still have a pretty good shot at getting some sort of rainfall in the total, maybe of 4 to 5 inches rain storm total. Okay, so this is over 5 days. So it'll be good if we get it a little bit at a time. That way we don't have any flooding problems, but the bullseye should be just to the south of Houston. Now, if you're going to Galveston for some reason for Labor Day, just consider that that's where the bullseye is. Now here's our area of low pressure spinning around. This valiant little deal here was good enough to push the heat dome away from us. The hot weather is on the East Coast right now, but that's not going to be lasting for long. As a matter of fact, as we get all the way into Wednesday of next week, the circulation sort of still is around us and the heat dome is pretty much gone. There's another higher pressure beginning to build out here, but things have looked very different now because it looks like we may be done with brutal summer. Okay, it's going to get more fall-like very soon. I'll get to that in a minute. Out in the Atlantic, we have one system that's trying to get organized, but so far not a big concern. There is a stronger wave actually coming in off the African coast. 1, 2, and 3 storms, all of them going real close to Hawaii. All of a sudden, they're getting quite a bit of thunder activity. Showers again tomorrow with an 85 down along the coast. Showers tomorrow with an 88 along Cuero. But remember, in the afternoon, in the mornings, you'll be okay. All of this will be triggered by afternoon heating, and it goes all the way into Monday. Sometime on Monday, Tuesday, there's actually the first frontal system moving into Texas of the season. We'll certainly be talking about that later on. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that, put Crossroads Today on your phone. And here's Shawna.
All right, might be a wet Friday football evening, so
yeah.
we'll see. But, well, Max is here now with a look at what he has coming up in sports.
Yeah, Shawna, hopefully it'll be okay for, football season on Friday. But for now, though, the Cowboys, they picked up a huge asset in running back Dalvin Cook. I'll have more of that in sports. All right, everyone, so the countdown is on. We are only 2 days away from the start of high school football season. Every team, they're trying to make their last-minute preparations, these last-minute walkthroughs, and one team that's trying to get those last-minute adjustments is the Goliad Tigers. They went last season 10-3, and they ended on a high note. The Tigers are still led by fourth-year head coach Kevin Salazar, and also they bring back offensive lineman Caden Gonzalez and running back Angel Hernandez, who expect this team to make a deep run this year.
You can expect us to be a lot better. You know, we've been working all summer, ever since last season, working on our leadership and our brotherhood and teamwork and everything, and we're looking forward to this season.
It's always been the same since we were little. All of us, we've all played together, and it's just nothing new. It's just us as a family, and we're just back, you know.
The Goliad Tigers, they're going to be back versus the East Bernard Bramos this Friday night. And that heads over now to our viewer poll, which I asked everyone again, who will win this matchup between the East Bernard Bramos and the Goliad Tigers? And right now, looking at the results, Goliad has 82% of the vote right now, everyone, over the Bramos. So again, maybe that'll change for the 10. We'll keep an eye on that. But right now, Goliad takes the lead right now here at this moment. But not at the moment. The majors, the Houston Astros, they got the dub today over again, the Philadelphia Phillies. They won 10-0 in this game. Yordan Alvarez got 3 home runs. Yes, everyone, 3 home runs, had a 2-run shot and then 2 solo shots in the game. And then Marcio Dubon hit an RBI single to help the team out as well. And I'll give you full highlights of the game here for 25 News Now at 10. Now over to the NFL. The Cowboys, they finally got a big deal. We talked about C.D. Lamb earlier this week, but now making other news, getting running back, former Jets and Vikings running back Dalvin Cook. He's a massive upgrade for the Cowboys in the running back department. Now getting Ezekiel Elliott back, and now you get him as well. This was kind of spurred up here by Mike Zimmer. He used to be the Vikings head coach, and Dalvin Cook was with the Vikings for a period of time. So now he is down there with the Cowboys. It could be a big upgrade for their team. And speaking of big upgrade, yesterday we kind of had some sad news when we were talking about Bailey Zappi after he got waived off by the New England Patriots, but now he quickly got picked up by the Kansas City Chiefs, and he's now on the practice squad. So again, some sad news, some positive news for Bailey Zappi, and hopefully wish him luck there with Kansas City. And I don't know, they might win a ring possibly. We'll have to see, but you know, with Bailey Zappi. But speaking of winning rings, the St. Joseph Flyers softball team, they're going to be receiving 3 championship rings on Friday afternoon during their pep rally. This will happen between 2:50 and 3:20 p.m. And it's a huge accomplishment for the Lady Flyers, and it's going to be big for them too going into the season. So congrats to St. Joseph High School and the softball program. That's good to do it here in sports. Don and Shawna, back to you.
All right, Max, thank you. And we're back in a moment. A rare orange lobster was rescued from a convenience store, not a Red Lobster, and was released back into the wild. Finally tonight, Clementine, a rare orange lobster, was set free. This 1 in 30 million orange lobster was rescued and returned to the sea by an animal advocacy group after being spotted in a Long Island Stop and Shop, a convenience store. The store offered a pardon at the Long Island Aquarium, but the aquarium did not want the rare lobster. Humane Long Island learned of the unusual crustacean and readied a saltwater tank for rehabilitation. Now Clementine has been released in the Long Island Sound, where she'll travel as much as 100 miles or more each year. And so that orange lobster will join the blue crab and the redfish.
And who knows what'll happen after that.
Oh, you know, out there in the water, you never know.
Making colors.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, Clementine would enjoy being around here because we're getting all these daily showers and get a little drenching. The thing is, for those of you planning, of course, the long holiday weekend, because it is Labor Day, you just got to consider that these thunder showers will be with us pretty much every afternoon. Now, as we were talking with Max about football, you can play in the rain. You can get muddy, but you can't play in the lightning. And that's what we need to concern ourselves with. I know that most athletic directors have those little lightning meters, and they decide whether or not there's going to be football or not. But on Friday afternoon, we will see some thunder shower activity. I don't want to discourage you from going. Just get the rain gear handy.
Get the ponchos, get anything you need.
Maybe it'll clear up by then. We'll see. So, we'll hope you join us back here tonight for 25 News Now at 10.